The Eastern Cape Provincial Government has just concluded outlining some of its findings throughout this initiation season. We understand that lives lost during this summer season have risen up to 20. And when the MEC for Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs was giving us the details regarding that high number of deaths, he mentioned that about 7 of these deaths were recorded in illegal initiation schools, and that 13 of them, even though with different circumstances surrounding these deaths, but they've been recorded in the legal initiation schools. But now to speak to us further about some of the details that were in that statement, we speak to the MEC for COGTA, Mr. Zolile Williams. Sir, thank you very much for your time. Just speak to us about the pictures that you've drawn for us earlier on today, with the number of people that have been arrested, number of cases that you have received of initiations that were going on in illegal initiation schools and so forth.
Well, let me talk about first the unfortunate death of initiates during this season, and send my condolences to the families that are grieving at this point in time, when actually they must be celebrating the return of those young men from the traditional passage to initiation. Well, the season has not been good to us. We were hoping that through our efforts we will get better results. Those efforts were about training of Ingcibi and Amakankata, and I think we have trained about 1,950 in the whole of the province. Something we have not done to this extent in the past. We have had imbizos to advocate for safe traditional circumcision. And unfortunately, we have experienced the loss of lives of these 20 boys. And normally, the increase in numbers is always in the illegal circumcision schools. And this year, we are finding that in those legal ones, we have 13. But as you disaggregate that number, you find that there's suicide, there's lightning strike, there's drowning, because this initiate was, because it's hot, was trying to swim, unfortunately drowned, and one was assault. The child was assaulted, and so I'm saying those cases, you'll find that some of them are not necessarily linked to the actual traditional circumcision. It's causes that could have been prevented had monitoring been there from parents. Because look, as government, whilst we have touched a lot of initiates this year, but parents on a daily basis must be in the traditional circumcision school to ensure that kids are well looked after, the environment within which they are residing is healthy, and that they are well fed, because food is critical in traditional circumcision. Other issues relate to dehydration, epileptic symptoms that have been seen, the sepsis or septicemia that we have experienced also, and both circumcision where a child loses his genital or private parts because of lack of cares and lack of experience because of these illegal traditional circumcision schools. I've been to those workshops. What we train Amakankata and Ingcibi about is to immediately see when a child is going to have septicemia and immediately call for help. Yeah. But in illegal schools, they don't understand that. That's why you will have this case of amputation, which is unnecessary.
How could we prevent these things, especially in illegal schools? Understanding that there's quite a lot of them in the rural areas around the Eastern Cape. Just speak to us maybe about what is the work that needs to be done in those areas particularly.
Unless communities in those areas accept that there's a problem with their areas relating to child deaths in traditional circumcision schools, because they only expect us to intervene in those areas with far-flung traditional circumcision schools. The community on its own must take a decision to say, we won't accept illegal traditional circumcision schools. Now, they want government to be everywhere. We can't. our capacity is not really agreeing that we can look at every area. So my view is that traditional leaders working with communities must agree on a central point where traditional circumcision must be happening. Once we have those demarcated areas, it's easy to monitor, it's easy to bring help, it's easy to rescue kids when they are in a crisis. The kids that we have rescued, they are in a healthy condition now. But those that are outside our sight, they end up amputated, they end up dead. And I'm saying it is upon communities and parents to say, my child is not going to a school that government does not know about, because that is going to lead to unintended consequences of death of your kids or losing the genital parts of your kids.
Speak to us about those parents that have also contributed to, those illegal initiation schools that you were speaking to us about.
Yes, we had to arrest 2 parents in the OR Tambo area for taking kids to illegal schools. When they are there, they refuse the kids from drinking water, resulting in dehydration and death of kids. So clearly there's no knowledge about traditional circumcision. That's why we're saying, if you don't know about this tradition, stay away from it. Let those who know continue to do it. Or get people who are in the know, who are trained by government to help you with your child. But trying to manipulate and maneuver your ways, you are just going to kill the life of your kid, or else your kid will come back without his genital parts. Yeah. And then you have contributed to psychosocial problems to that kid.
We're going to another season again next year, the winter season. What is the anticipation? What is the effort of government to try and limit the number of deaths?
What we're going to do is to analyze the developments of this season, the experiences we've had, what challenges we've had, build a critical mass of what is it that we're going to do going towards the next winter season. Resources, your vehicles, your human resource capacity, availing the medical equipment for traditional circumcision surgeons, also training more of those surgeons and amakankata so that we are ready for that next season. As we train, we are seeing that there's some move to be better understanding the tradition. And I'm saying with all those efforts, maybe in the next 3 years, we may see 0 death in the Eastern Cape, but we have to work towards that goal.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. That's MEC Zolile Williams, who's the MEC for Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs in the Eastern Cape, saying that they are looking forward to year 2026, the winter season, where they're going to try and make sure that they analyze the outcomes of this particular initiation season and then do some implementations for the next coming season.